Rock and roll.
And I was just thinking, is this my 5th time?
I think so.
Dude, I feel so blessed.
I'm blessed to have you.
It's like, holy crap, man. 5 times in 3 years.
Come on, brother.
And and we had, of course, the first show in the old new studio.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, you were the first.
Well,
you were the very first.
remember we had to wait for like 2 hours, and the mics weren't working, and we couldn't use headphones, and then we made a big mistake of getting really high.
I do remember.
I remember you calling me like.
I don't remember it being a mistake.
No,
I remember it being the right move.
You called me a couple of days later and said, "Dude, we have to do that over. We need a do-over."
We were barbecued.
Yeah, we were.
But
we were barbecued.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah. Well, and the place looks phenomenal. It's really, really beautiful.
Thank you. So what's the reason why you can't smoke cigars? You said there's a reason as you puff on that robot dick.
Well, okay. So I did something at the end of last year, which I should have done 10 years ago. I had a real problem.
Psychedelic experience?
No, I wish. No. Well, it wound up kind of being a cool experience, but the bone in my jaws degenerated. You know where you go to the dentist and they stick that thing in and they go 2, 3, 5, 9, 11, and that's millimeters. So I had like a good it's a pocket. So the bone had just degenerated, and so I was really a candidate for full-on dentures.
Oh Jesus!
Exactly. And so I found these great dentists, one in Fredericksburg, one in Kerrville, and one does all the cosmetic stuff. I said, look, dude, I cannot have dentures. And first of all, my wife will never sleep with me again. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, if you have them laying on
I'm not going to put shit in the glass next to me at night. No. Second, I'm really worried about my speech.
Right.
I can't be chlichling and doing all that shit. This is what I do for a living. So they figured out they could remove 12 teeth.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Amen. 12 teeth. And now, mind you, I've never had any procedure. I've never been under anesthesia. I've never even had an IV. So, and quite frankly, I was quite terrified of it. But it had to be done because as they did the scans, I think it's a CT scan, you can slice through your head. Not only was this degenerating, but it had gotten all the way up to my sinuses, and there was a low-level infection.
Holy shit, and you didn't know?
I thought I had allergies.
Wow.
And so we'd always go out to eat in Austin, and then be like, Austin is filled with shit because the minute I'm eating in a restaurant, it's like, it's just streaming down. I'm like, what is going on? Turns out, eating, you're aggravating the infection and the sinuses, and it just, it would just really get bad.
Oh my God.
So I didn't even know this until, just before I got this procedure. So the idea is they knocked out 12 teeth, 4 in the front, 4 at the bottom, and then, a couple of these molars, which was, I was fucking afraid.
Did you take pictures of you with
dude,
West Virginia smile?
Yeah, no. I'll show you. It's no, you're gonna think it's a TikTok filter when you see it. But so they put me under for 5.5 hours with fentanyl.
Hot damn.
Exactly. Now, mind you, I'm there. My wife is there. I'm like, and he's putting the IV in. I was more afraid of the IV than anything. Like, I've never had this. Like,
you've never had an IV?
Never.
Oh.
No. And so it goes in. I'm like, was that it? And I'm out. But I kept waking up. Of course, by then you're anesthetized and everything. And I kept waking up during this procedure, and they would hit me with some more fentanyl. I didn't even know. I guess medical fentanyl is pretty normal to use for this kind of procedure. And later they said, any red hair in the family? Like, red hair? No. Any Irish in the family? No. Because apparently red hair and Irish have high tolerance for all kinds of anesthesia and drugs.
Interesting.
And I said,
hello, Bill Burr.
And I said, how about, I grew up in Amsterdam. Oh, yeah, that's probably, we gave you enough fentanyl to put an elephant under, man. It's like, okay. But I kept waking up, and I remember a lot of it specifically.
Oh, my goodness.
So after, that's how swollen my face was.
Oh, my God. Whoa.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That looks like a filter.
That's what no one believes it. So that's what I look like.
It looks like a TikTok filter.
Yeah. So and so now I'm ossifying my bone. So they put titanium.
What is that word? Ossifying.
It's growing. You're growing bone.
Oh.
And what you couldn't do. The technology is amazing. You couldn't do this 15 years ago. They'd have to get some bone from your hip and graft that on.
Ossifying.
Turn into bone.
Rigid,
Yeah.
fixed in attitude.
Yeah. So
Turn into bony tissue.
So they put a titanium plate on the top and the bottom with 2 little screws, titanium screws, and then some plates in where the molars were. And then they take some of your own blood. They mix it up with some, I think, pig blood and maybe some Uyghur bones or something. So who knows what? Who knows? We don't really ask about that. If I start speaking Chinese, then you know what's up.
No.
And so now I'm in the growth process, and so I have a bridge here. And I think they look good. I mean, these are temporary, but like, hi, I can smile.
They look totally normal.
Thank you.
That's no idea.
That's Hollywood. And
so those are temporary, and then eventually they have to do those posts.
Yes.
I had a buddy of mine who got his teeth knocked out in a hockey game, and he's got like posts, and and he had magnets. So
he could take them out?
Dunk, like stuck up there with a magnet.
Oh, I should ask about that.
Oh, do you want that, or do you want them permanent?
Well, I want them permanent, but
Yeah.
there may be benefit to putting a different, put a little fang in there or something. Hello, how you doing?
Great for Halloween. One time a year you need it.
So I literally have these 2 bridges are connected to my canine teeth.
Wow.
And they have to adjust them because it's going to be 6 months before the bone is ossified enough to then put the posts in and the permanent teeth.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but these guys are great. They're like mid-30s.
What
they know what they're
caused
doing.
your bone to deteriorate like that?
Part of it's genetics. Also, when I was young, like 2 or 3, we lived in Uganda for a couple of years. And my parents, they were also young parents, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, I guess. So they put me to bed every night with a chocolate cookie. So by the time I was 9, I just had cavities and all kinds of shit going on.
Man.
And that's where I developed an incredible fear of dentists, So later on, as I said, I should have done it 10 years ago, but, going through a divorce, and the dentist was actually some gay guy started hitting on me, and I was like,
Fun times.
I'm like, no,
That's not the guy you want putting under.
He would call me with, hi, say hi to Bob. I'm like, nah, what are you doing, man? No, so I didn't want any of that. But I'm so happy I did it, because not only as it almost fixed my sinuses just by removing them, just by clearing that all up, I also hear better. I have my hearing aids. Yeah. Not that it's louder per se, but I hear more high end. So
because of the lack of infection.
Of course. Yeah.
So did they have to treat the infection with IV antibiotics? Like, how do they treat the infection?
Well, this was the downer. Well, the infection just kind of goes away. I mean, I don't think I had any. Oh, I did have some
oral.
Yeah, just some pill I would take.
Mm-hmm.
But for pain, they gave me ibuprofen and hydrocodone.
Whoa.
And the hydrocodone I took for maybe 5 days. You take ibuprofen, hydrocodone, and it did nothing for me.